Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield Chin, and on behalf of Milton Academy, I am here live to bring you coverage of this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse game. Today pits the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs, who you can see to my left in the blue jerseys with white jersey numbers and orange outlines along with their nice orange helmets. And they'll be hosting the visiting Belmont Hill out here with their white jerseys and red jersey numbers. The Mustangs come into this one with a 4-3 record. They're coming off of back-to-back losses to Rivers School last weekend. They lost 18-5 at home last week on Friday, and then went out on the road on Saturday, fared a little better, but still ended up in the losing column by a final score of 17-11. So a tough weekend for them last weekend, and they're hoping to bounce back, but they are facing one Goliath of an opponent. Belmont Hill, a perfect 9-0 so far this season, and on top of that, they are nationally ranked number 11 in the nation according to the National Lacrosse Federation. So an interesting matchup to be sure. And as we've got about 13 minutes left before we kick this game off, let's take a look at the two teams' rosters. We'll start things off with the visiting Belmont Hill. Going in numerical order as it was given to me. First off, we got a junior defenseman, number 1, Drew Dummer. A senior attacker, number 2, Christopher O'Connell. Another senior attacker, number 3, Zach Travaglini. A sophomore midfielder, number 4, John Goguen. A senior defender, number 5, Kevin McCallum. A junior attacker, number 7, Adam Figler. A sophomore face-off specialist, number 8, Ronan O'Donnell. A junior attacker, number 9, Braden Riley. A freshman attacker, number 10, Will Stewart. A sophomore midfielder, number 11, Eli Goldstein. A senior midfielder, number 12, Brooks Raymond. A sophomore defender, number 14, Charles Hazard. Or actually, it's probably Hazard. Charles Hazard. A senior midfielder, number 15, Jack Theberg. A junior midfielder, number 17, Ethan O'Neill. A senior defender, number 18, Trey Brown. A junior defender, number 19, Tom Goguen. A junior attacker, number 20, Liam Horkin. A junior attacker, number 22, Jack Henderson. A senior goalie, number 23, Michael Marinello. A senior midfielder, number 24, Connor Monahan. A sophomore attacker, number 25, Luke Theberge. A freshman attacker, number 26, Ben DiBattista. A junior midfielder, number 27, Charlie Cave. A sophomore midfielder, number 28, Christian Brunner. A freshman midfielder, number 29, Henry Hasselbeck. A freshman defender, number 30, Peyton Fox. A sophomore goalie, number 31, Matthew Torrey. A senior face-off specialist, number 32, Luke Curtin. A senior midfielder, number 33, Jack Barry. A junior midfielder, number 34, Diego Ortiz. A senior defender, number 36, Justin Santana. A sophomore attacker, number 38, Luke Lopresti. A junior defender, number 42, Bert Green. And last, and certainly not least on the roster, senior defender, number 44, Grant Litchfield. And Litchfield will be one to watch out for. Again, coming from the National Lacrosse Federation, they have him ranked number 19 in the nation for the senior class of 2021. So there's your lineup for Belmont Hill. Belmont is coached by Tim Sullivan, Chris Butler, George Sullivan, and Matt Fritz, along with manager Shane Kelly. And now we move over to the home team, the Milton Mustangs. Starting off, a freshman attacker and goalie from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 2, Jack Olieri. A sophomore attacker from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, number 3, Ralph Vogel. A junior long stick midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 4, Chris Scanlon. A sophomore midfielder from South Hamilton, Massachusetts, number 5, Mike Hanlon. A freshman face-off specialist from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, number 7, William Lavallee. A sophomore midfielder from East Northport, New York, number 6, Brendan Marr. Number's a little out of order there for a second. A senior midfielder from Hyde Park, Massachusetts, number 8, Bill Eugene. A senior midfielder from Orleans, Massachusetts, number 9, Kai Lannon. A junior midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 10, Jake Holtschlag. A sophomore defender from Milton, Massachusetts, number 11, Murphy McLaughlin. A sophomore attacker from Sudbury, Massachusetts, number 12, Ted Wu. A senior defender from Milton, Massachusetts, number 13, Garvin McLaughlin. A junior goalie from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 14, Alex Godwin. A sophomore midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 15, Jackson Landy. A senior midfielder from Boston, Massachusetts, number 16, Jasper Burns. A senior defender from Conway, New Hampshire, number 17, Austin Scott. A senior midfielder from Seoul, South Korea, number 18, Jason Lee. A senior attacker from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, number 19, Max Andrade. A sophomore defender from Baldwinsville, New York, number 20, Wayne Simon. A junior defender from my hometown of Brookline, Massachusetts, number 21, Luca Casagrande. A senior long stick midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 22, Richie Feary. A sophomore midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 23, Henry Schottel. A junior long stick midfielder from Georgetown, Massachusetts, number 24, Quince Berkeley. A senior defender from Weston, Massachusetts, number 30, William Spencer. A junior midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 32, Jack Smith. A sophomore midfielder from Wayland, Massachusetts, number 33, Sam Johnson. A junior midfielder from Arlington, Virginia, number 34, Ethan Davidson. A senior attacker from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 39, Nate Stewart. And rounding out the lineup, a senior midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 40, Will Vanderveen. The Milton Mustangs are coached by Mark Goodrich, Daniel Hetler, Corey Simonson, Paul Ramos, and Noah Knopf. So those are your two rosters for today's game. Belmont Hill at Milton Academy. So should be an interesting game. The Mustangs of Milton Academy, again, from my left in the blue jerseys with orange helmets, white jersey numbers, and orange outlines, taking on the Belmont Hill Sextants over here on my right in the white jerseys, black helmets, and red jersey numbers that appear to have black outlines. We're about a little over 4 minutes away from getting this game kicked off. Again, the records coming into this matchup: Milton Academy 4-3 following back-to-back losses to Rivers School last weekend, one at home and one on the road, while the Sextants have been perfect so far, 9-0, and good enough for a national ranking, number 11 in the country, according to the National Lacrosse Federation. A pretty typical powerhouse, Belmont Hill. But we don't play these games on paper. We play them on the field. So while it may be a tough opponent, you know the Milton Mustangs are going to give it all they've got. There's only this weekend and next weekend left in this short season. And you know all these young athletes are going to try and make the most of what they've got in this season. Especially when it comes to the seniors. Reading down the senior class of Milton Academy, this will be their last season. And by my count, I think this is actually their last home game. I think they're on the road on Saturday and then on the road again next Friday. So I think this might be their last game here at the Milton Academy Turf Field. In the case that that's the case, the senior class includes number 8, Bill Eugene, number 9, Kai Lannon, number 13, Garvin McLaughlin, number 16, Jasper Burns, number 17, Austin Scott, number 18, Jason Lee, number 19, Max Andrade, number 22, Richie Fury, number 30, William Spencer, number 39, Nate Stewart, and number 40, Will Vanderveen. Those are your seniors for the Milton Academy Mustangs, who I believe are playing in the last game of their high school careers here at the Milton Academy Turf Field. And they'll be facing, as I said, a Goliath of an opponent. Number 11 nationally ranked Belmont Hill, led by senior defender Grant Litchfield, nationally ranked as the number 19 player in the class of 2021. So we can see the Sextants of Belmont Hill taking the field. Minute and a half left on the scoreboard clock before we get this underway. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, live here at Milton Academy. And we'll be getting this underway soon. On a side note, I apologize for the shaking of the camera. I'm on a bit of a hard to describe, but it's like I'm on a riser basically up here, and it's next to another riser for the folks operating the scoreboard. And anytime they go up and down the ladder, that's going to cause my riser to shake as well. I'm going to try and keep things as steady as I can throughout the game, however. As we get ready for our face-off, Milton sends out their face-off specialist, William Lavalley, while for Belmont Hill, it is their face-off specialist, Luke Curtin. Face-off specialists are in the circle, ready to get this underway, and here we go. This game is underway. It's quickly won by Luke Curtin. He runs down, takes a shot. Nice save by Alex Godwin, and it's recovered by Lavalley and tossed over to Godwin. Good defensive start for the Mustangs, courtesy of their goalie, Alex Godwin. He passed it ahead to Kai Lannon. Lannon running along the far sideline, gets around one defender. Working in transition, he tosses it back to number 5, Mike Hanlon. Hanlon operating from the point as they swap out someone so he can go across the attack line. He attacks from the right, sends it off to the corner to number 12, Ted Wu, sends it along the back to number 3, Ralph Vogel. Back out to Kai Lannon. Now up to number 23, Henry Schottel. Schottel running to his right. Throws it back to Vogel. Vogel swings it along to, I believe, that's number 19, who then sends it up top to Lannon. That was number 19, Max Andrade. Now Kai Lannon operating out of the point. Lannon biding his time. Makes his charge, gets back into the attack zone, being well defended, and he has to pass it behind to Vogel. Vogel sends a long pass through traffic to the back to Schottel. Schottel spinning around, fires a long bounce shot. It misses high, but Brookline covers it well. That's Ralph Vogel being blocked by the bar right there. My apologies for that. Oh, but no, they're going to give it back to Belmont Hill. They might have run out of possession clock there. So as a bunch of players switch off, we change possession. Belmont Hill working their way up the field. This is number 17, Ethan O'Neill with the ball. He flips it over to number 12, Brooks Raymond. Raymond passes it ahead. They're working it around the cycle here. This is number 25 with the ball. He sends it back up top to O'Neill. Swings it back over to Raymond. Raymond starting to charge. Gets around his man. Heading for the goal. Bounce shot. Bounces high. That's going to go out of bounds, but well covered by number 25, Luke Theberge. Theberge running with it. Sends it up top over to Raymond, who then sends it over to O'Neill. O'Neill charging this time. Coming around. Fires a shot. Misses wide, but again, well covered by Theberge. Theberge taking it again, running around the back, looking for his passing options. He sends it out to number 20, Liam Horkan. Horkan swings a pass over to Brooks Raymond. Raymond being defended, but he runs around his man who stumbled a bit, coming towards the center, gets around another defender, spins through another, trying to force his way through, takes the shot as he's falling, and he scores. First goal of the day coming from the senior midfielder, Brooks Raymond. Jake Holzschlag was the first trying to cover him, and he kind of stumbled a bit after trying to body check him a bit. And from there, he had a step on everybody. Got around one guy, spun through, forced his way through a sandwich of defenders, and ultimately took the shot as he was falling down. 1-0 Belmont Hill. This is Curtin and Lavalley in the face-off circle once again. Going for the face-off. Looks like we got the clamp strategy, but it's jarred loose by Curtin and ultimately picked up by number 1, Drew Dummer. Dummer running into the attack zone. Sends a pass out the back. And now a pass to a streaking player. Shot and scored! That was number 9, Braden Riley. I believe the assist came from number 7, Adam Figler. So Figler to Riley, and it is a 2-0 lead for the Sextons. Belmont Hill off to a hot start here. 2-0 the score in favor of the visitors. 8:56 on the clock here in the first period, and it'll be Curtin and Lavalley back to the face-off circle. Going for it again. It looks like Lavalley is trying to clamp it down again. Looking for their leverage. Now, of course, this maneuver was recently outlawed in public high schools by the MIAA this season for the first time, but that rule change has not transferred over to the Independent School League, so they can still employ one of the more popular face-off strategies. Both guys looking for leverage. Waiting to see who can get it. And it's won by Lavalley. But they blow the whistle and they give it over to Belmont Hill. Number 29, Henry Hasselbeck, flips a pass over, and then it's sent up top to number 24, Connor Monahan. Now over to number 11, Eli Goldstein. Goldstein starts to charge, hits traffic, pulls back and sends a pass back up top to Monahan. Monahan gets around his man, takes a shot, and scores! Connor Monahan. A nicely placed low shot from a distance that one hopped into the back of the net. 3-0 Belmont Hill here in the first couple of minutes. 8:01 it reads on the clock here in the first period. And the visitors hold a 3-0 lead as Lavallee and Curtin head back to the face-off circle for another intense battle. This one over quickly and won for a second by Lavallee, but it's not jarred loose and now picked up by Curtin. He got smothered by several defenders. But then it looks like it was taken away. I believe that's Jack Smith. Smith flips it over to Hanlon. Nice second effort by Jack Smith after his teammate lost the ball. And now Milton gets a chance on offense. This is Kai Lannon. He flips it over to Max Andrade. Behind the net to Ralph Vogel. Swinging it around, they go to number 12, Ted Wu. Back to Vogel. Vogel flips it over to Andrade. Andrade sends it up top to number 40, Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen winding up, he starts to charge. Flips a quick pass over to Lannon, slightly off target. Couldn't be recovered by Hanlon. It's going to be a scrum for the ball. Who's going to come away with it? Belmont Hill's going to come away with it. On the run in transition, they pass over to Figler. A quick pass to number 33, breaks his way through and scores. That was Jack Barry. Another nice assist from number 7, Adam Figler. And this time it's Jack Barry who finishes to give Belmont Hill a 4-0 lead. Goals scored thus far by Brooks Raymond, Braden Riley, and Connor Monahan, and then most recently by Jack Barry. 4 different goal scorers and a 4-0 lead for Belmont Hill. Lavallee and Curtin get started, but there's a false start called on Milton, and so the possession arrow will once again go to Belmont Hill. Once again, it's number 29, Henry Hasselbeck. He flips it over to number 27, Charlie Cave, who then flips it to number 17, Ethan O'Neill. O'Neill swings it over, and it's sent behind the net. Can't quite see I believe that's Figler behind the net, who then flips it over to number 25, Theberge. Back up top to number 27, Cave. Now back to O'Neill. O'Neill starting to charge, gets around one man, gets around another, still charging, sends a high pass over the net, quick pass inside, too much traffic, and the ball is loose. It is chased down by Milton Academy and recovered by number 23, Henry Schottel. Schottel running with it in transition, sends a quick pass up ahead. He was looking for Wu, juggled but recovered. Ted Wu with the ball, looking for an opening. He's not getting it, well defended, and he flips it over to Kai Lannon. Lannon working out of the point, surveying, moves to his left, flips a pass ahead to Wu. Wu sends it behind the net over to Vogel. Vogel flips it over to Andrade. Andrade sends it back up top to Hanlon. Hanlon chooses not to flip it over to Lannon and just keeps it. He starts to charge, gets around one man, but hits traffic, spins around, low shot off the bar! He gets his own rebound after the unlucky post bounce, but it's poked away and a loose ball being fought for, and they're going to say out of bounds off of Milton. Nicely played defense by number 1, Drew Dummer. Long pass goes ahead to O'Neill. O'Neill running with it. He sends it behind the net to Figler. Figler flicks it over to Theberge. Now over to Raymond. Raymond sends it up top to number 11, Eli Goldstein. Goldstein starting to charge with it. Sends a pass behind the net to Figler. Flipped over to Theberge. Theberge comes out. Sends a pass towards the middle, but it misses again. This loose ball is recovered, though, by Goldstein. Goldstein starting to charge. Gets around his man. Sends a pass behind the net to Figler. They try another quick pass to the middle. Deflected, but recovered. And now an attempted pass is deflected, and we got a loose ball. They're scrumming for it, and it's going to be picked up by number 20, Wayne Simon. Simon being Harassed for a sec, but he passes it over to Godwin. Nice defense there by Milton. A few quick passes, and it goes ahead to Lannon. Lannon flips it over to Vogel. Vogel running around the back, over to the corner. Nowhere to go himself, and he sends it back up top to Vanderveen, but he misses. It goes high. It is tapped by Schottel and then recovered by Vanderveen. Hanlon switches out for Schottel on the offensive side as Vanderveen controls the ball. Vanderveen starting to charge with it. Into the attack zone. Hesitates, shoots. Nice save by the goalie. Goalie Michael Marinello with a nice save there. And it is Raymond running in transition. Raymond still sprinting. Runs out of room, passes over to O'Neill. Low shot saved by Godwin. Godwin flips a long pass ahead. Finds his man. Now running in transition is number 22, Richie Fury. Fury winds and fires and misses wide. Ted Wu asserts his position behind the net in order to keep the possession with Milton. 4-0 Belmont Hill leads. Wu running around the back. Comes out. Quick pass over to Vogel. Vogel turns around, shoots. Another nice save by Marinello. Marinello with 2 nice saves the last couple possessions. And now Belmont Hill operating in transition again. Quick pass up ahead. A quick pass to Figler. Over to Theberge. Theberge the shot, and he scores! Luke Theberge with goal number 5 for the Sextants. 5 goals, 5 different goal scorers thus far for Belmont Hill. Their first goal by Brooks Raymond, the second by Braden Riley, the third by Connor Monahan, the fourth by Jack Barry, and now the fifth here by Luke Theberge. 2:55 left here in the first period, and we send Curtin and Lavalley back to the face-off circle. Once again, they're trying to get the pole position off of the clamp. It's a battle of patience and wits here. And of course, of leverage. You know, Archimedes would love a competition like this. Of course, he was the one who once said, "Give me a lever and I shall move the world." And both these two face-off specialists trying to move the most important thing in their world right now, and that is the ball. Their teammates hovering around, waiting for a potential scrum at the ball. Any second it could be knocked loose, and then it becomes just a race for it. A lot of pushing and shoving from the guys around it. And of course, the clock's still running this whole time. Less than 2 minutes now left in the first period. And finally, it's knocked loose and quickly picked up by Curtin. What a fast stick. He passes ahead to Figler. Figler turns around and flips it over to number 29, and then quickly over to, I believe, number 9. He tries to flip to Figler. Figler juggles it and recovers. Figler sends it up top to number 20, Liam Horkin. Horkin, a slow rolling pass over to the now checking in Charlie Cave. Cave now running with it, gets around one defender. He's got some opening, takes the shot. Nice save by Godwin. That might have gone off his foot. Loose ball, knocked out. A scrum for it. It's picked up by Jack Smith. Smith has it knocked loose, and it's recovered by Belmont Hill. That was number 20, Horkin. He passes it over to 29, Hasselbeck, and then quickly over to current possessor of the ball, number 27, that's Cave. Cave running around with it, and he sends it back up top to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck sends it over to the corner. Operating behind the net now. Coming out from behind the net, looking for a pass. It's deflected up into the air, and it is taken by Milton. That's McLaughlin, Murphy McLaughlin to be specific, as he flips it back to Alex Godwin. And then over, I believe that's number 10, Volstag, who now tries to send ahead to Jack Smith, but the pass is lost, and it is picked up by Belmont Hill, and now they're running the quick passes. Working in transition, they send a quick pass ahead. Low shot, missed off the side of the net. Battle for the ball now. scrum for it. Several players vying for position here. It is won by Figler. We got a whistle blown, and with 7.7 ticks left in the first period, it's going to go to Milton Academy, and they might just hold it for these last 7 seconds. But we've got a timeout called first. Some confusion on Milton's side, wondering what the timeout is about. The number on the clock has been reset to 9 seconds, so an extra 1.3 ticks put on the end of this first period. Milton Academy will have the ball after that. And we'll see what they can do. Belmont Hill built a substantial lead in the early minutes. 4 goals very quickly. But then after that 4-0 lead, Milton Academy, to their credit, has done a pretty good job defending against the number 11 team in the nation, allowing just 1 goal through the rest of the period. So the refs discussing things with the clock operators, as there was a bit of confusion about why the play was blown dead, how much time was left on the clock, all that jazz, and it looks like it's actually going to be Belmont Hill with the ball. It seemed like it was Milton with the ball, but instead it's going to be Braden Riley starting with the ball for Milton. They got 9 seconds. The pass back to Figler. Figler approaches, pulls back, pass towards the center, shot and scored! A nice catch and shoot with 3.4 seconds left in the period by number 20, Liam Horkin. And that marks 3 assists as well for Adam Figler. What a facilitator he's been early in this ball game. 6-0, the Sextants lead the Mustangs as Curtin and Lavalley head back to the face-off circle. And now this one's quickly won by Curtin. No long drawn-out thing this time. His long shot easily collected by Godwin as the horn sounds. That is the end of the first period here at the turf field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse game. The visiting team with 6 goals from 6 different goal scorers so far. The first one scored by number 12, Brooks Raymond. The second one by number 9, Braden Riley. The third by number 24, Connor Monahan. The fourth by number 33, Jack Barry. The fifth by number 25, Luke Theberge. And the sixth, and so thus far most recent one, scored by number 20, Liam Horkin. So, as we wait the start of the second period, I'm going to take a short mute break, but I'll be back with the second period of this game. Stay tuned. And we're back. My name is Jesse Mayfield Chan, and I'm here at the Milton Academy Turf Field in Milton, Massachusetts. And on behalf of Milton Academy, I am bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse matchup between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Belmont High Sextants. The visitors got off to a substantial 6-0 lead with 6 different goal scorers in the first period, and the two teams send their face-off specialists back to the circle. It is won once again by Curtin. Curtin taking off and running himself. A quick pass over to Figler. Figler with 3 assists already. He's been an effective facilitator for this Belmont Hill offense as he moves to his left and surveys. Operating out of the corner. Still looking around. Still looking. Spins around his man. He's got a bit of an opening. Quick pass over to Luke Theberge, one of the goal scorers from the first period, who then passes it to another goal scorer. That is Brooks Raymond. Now over to number 29, Henry Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck taking off and running. Decides to send a long pass to the back to Figler. And then a quick pass aimed at Theberge. Misses and goes out of bounds. Just a bit too hasty there. Figler's had some nice touch on his passes in the first period, but that one not quite what he needed. Number 10, Jake Holzschlag. Pass it over to the goalie, Godwin. Now back to Holzschlag. And Holzschlag barrels right into Theberge. Bounces off another guy. The ball is knocked loose, though. And I don't know if they blew a whistle on Holzschlag, but either way, the ball is lost. Belmont Hill with it now, and this is Theberge. Theberge passes it back out to Figler. Adam Figler with the ball. Being defended by Kai Lannon. Slowly walking around, directing traffic. Sends a pass over to Theberge. Theberge fires, misses high. Chased down by Braden Riley. He keeps it in play for Belmont Hill. Flips it over to Figler. Figler sends a pass out from the back. Theberge charges in, but has the ball knocked loose. Nicely defended, but the loose ball is picked up by Theberge. He passes over to Raymond. Raymond going for a spin move, runs into traffic. Nice help defense by Milton. Raymond flips it over. This is number 27, Charlie Cave. He fires and misses wide. Once again out of bounds, a close chase to the sideline. And it's ultimately won by Ethan O'Neill to keep the ball with Belmont Hill. This is Figler once again with the ball. Behind the net, sends a pass out, a quick shot. Nice save by Godwin, and he smothers it. Quick shot by Braden Riley. A good chance there, but nicely covered by the goalie, Alex Godwin. Now Milton Academy operating in transition. The quick pass goes ahead to Vogel. Now a shot. Oh, point blank save by Marinello. A great chance there for Ted Wu, but it just doesn't finish. And now Belmont Hill operating in transition. This is Figler with the ball across the attack line. Going towards the middle. Quick pass and a charge towards the net off the crossbar. Ball is recovered by Milton Academy. Passed back for Godwin, but misses. This is a loose ball. This might be a costly turnover, but Godwin chases it down and recovers it. Passes it over to Wayne Simon. And now over to number 21, Luca Casagrande. Casagrande running with it. And a whistle blown against Milton Academy. They might have taken too long to get across midfield. And so again, Belmont Hill takes over. Number 11 charging in, takes a shot, and he scores. Hits the low corner. That is Eli Goldstein. The 7th different goal scorer for Belmont Hill gives them their 7th goal. Off the tough turnover by Milton Academy, Goldstein just took it himself, took off and ran, and sent a nicely placed shot into the low corner. Not much that Alex Godwin could do about that. And we got a new face-off taker for Milton Academy. This is number 33, Sam Johnson, who will be going up against Luke Curtin, who's been a very effective face-off specialist for the Sextants so far in this game. 7-0 Belmont Hill leads, 9:02 left in the period. And Curtin flips it over his opponent's head and chases it down and recovers it. Quick pass ahead to Theberge. And Curtin's job is done, and he trots off. Theberge flips it up top to number 24, Connor Monahan. Monahan had a goal back in the first period. And now he flips it ahead to number 30. Now over to 20, and now over to Riley. Riley's shot goes wide. Possession stays with Belmont Hill. They had the back of the net well covered. Figler with the ball again, looking for a nice pass. Sends a pass out, and the shot goes in. For a second, I thought it hit the side of the net, but they said that one was in. I believe that was number 20, Liam Horkin, with his second goal of the day. I got a bit confused for a second on that shot, and so I might have the goal scorer wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Liam Horkin, and if not, Connor Monahan. But either way, a second goal for one of the Belmont Hill players, their first multi-goal scorer, as it's Lavalley back facing Curtin in the circle. And again, they're clamped down, looking for any sort of leverage as their teammates are trying to box each other out to get position. And we got a whistle blown, an infraction called against Milton Academy. 8-0 is the score, and we got a penalty called on Milton Academy's number 24, Quince Berkeley. He'll be serving a minute, and Belmont Hill will have the man-up advantage. Passed in the attack zone, back up top to Ethan O'Neill. He juggles it but recovers, runs around, looking for a pass. He gets it to Riley. Riley looking around, gets it over to Horkin. Now to Riley, now to Cave. Cave's pass is juggled, loose ball, dangerous chance, but it's picked up by Raymond, and Raymond starts to run, passes it over to Figler. Figler passes it back out to O'Neill, who fakes the shot, passes over to Raymond, now over to Cave. Cave looking around, over to Raymond, over to O'Neill, quick pass, and a shot, and score by Horkin. Liam Horkin completes the hat trick here in the second period and increases the margin of this game to 9-0. A nice day so far for the junior attacker. And some really swift ball movement there by the Sextons, showing why their program has such a strong tradition and why they are nationally ranked this season by the National Lacrosse Federation. Back to the face-off circle. It's Lavalley versus Curtin. And it's won by Curtin again. Passes it ahead to Braden Riley. Riley flips it over to O'Neill. Ethan O'Neill charging in, gets around one man. He's got a straight path, and he scores easily. That was a bit of a lapse by the Milton Academy defense. Ethan O'Neill just took the path of least resistance to the net, and that was the path right in front of him. So Milton sends Sam Johnson back to the faceoff circle to take on Curtin. This will be the second faceoff taken by Johnson, as all the others have been taken by William Lavalley. And this faceoff is won by Johnson. Quick one there, and Johnson now fighting his way through several players. The ball is knocked loose, but they're going to call a holding penalty against Belmont Hill. So the possession stays with Milton Academy. It'll be Max Andrade starting with the ball. Andrade running along the right side, goes around the back, flips it over to Ralph Vogel. Vogel sends it up top to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon now sending it to the center to Kai Lannon. And Lannon flips it over to Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen starting to charge. Jukes his way around one man, takes a shot and just misses wide. Might have been slightly deflected by Marinello. Michael Marinello has had a few really nice saves for Belmont Hill on some of the few good chances that Milton Academy has had at the net. 10-0 is the score here in the second period. Belmont Hill a substantial lead early in this contest. Hanlon flips it over to Vogel. Vogel fighting through his man. Almost got through, but pushed away. Sends a pass to a cutting Vanderveen, but misses. Loose ball now. Everybody coming to the center line to try and push it. And ultimately, it's scooped up by Hanlon. Milton Academy keeps it. Hanlon running quickly into the attack zone. Flips a pass over to Andrade, who sends it out to Lannon. Lannon to Vanderveen. Vanderveen fakes out his man, charges, takes a shot, and he scores! Will Vanderveen puts the Mustangs on the board. The senior midfielder, in what will be his final game at home of his high school career, he scores and puts his team on the board. A great move to juke out his defender. Made it look like he was just going to back him down and get physical about it, and then just very swiftly shifted his way around him. And all of a sudden he had the opening. Back to the face-off. Johnson versus Curtin. It seems to be won by Curtin. He's pushed over from behind by Johnson, and that's going to be a foul that'll give it to Belmont Hill. The Sextons operating with the ball again. Riley flips it back to Cave. Charlie Cave operating from the point. He flips it over to Brooks Raymond. Raymond over to Connor Monahan. Monahan starts to charge, gets around one man. Looking for an opening, but he ran out of room. Kept away by Jack Smith, trying to spin around him, trying to force his way. Help defenses arrived. This is Murphy McLaughlin who knocks it loose and gets the ball, but also gets the foul call. So they call the slash. They call a slashing penalty on Murphy McLaughlin. He'll be serving a minute. And so instead of the turnover, Milton will be facing the man-down disadvantage against Belmont Hill. Riley passes it over to Cave. Now up top to O'Neill. O'Neill fakes, loses control of his stick, and a loose ball, but it couldn't be picked up. But now we've got a push penalty against Belmont Hill. That one's going on the blooper reel right there. You're not going to see a play like that often from any high school lacrosse player, least of all from Belmont Hill. But, oh my God, another lost ball! Riley's just going to walk it in. Someone start playing the yakety sax, because both teams with some sloppy turnovers. First, Ethan O'Neill of Belmont Hill had his stick fly out of his hands, and then Alex Godwin had the ball come out of his pocket. It was picked up by Braden Riley, and I don't think he's ever had an easier goal in his career. The second goal of the day for Riley makes the score 11-1 in favor of Belmont Hill. 4:53 left on the clock here in the second period. It is Johnson versus Curtin in the face-off circle. Again, Curtin flips it into the air. Loose ball being chased by several players, though, and it's flipped into the air again. It's being chased down by Drew Dummer. He kicks it along, and now he smacks it along. It's flipped into the air again, and the jump ball is ultimately picked up by Belmont Hill's number 33. Runs into the attack zone. Quick pass to Figler. Figler fires, and he scores. Nice effort there by Jack Barry, finally recovering that loose ball, and then flipping it over to Adam Figler, who's been operating as a facilitator for most of this game, but finally got an opening for a shot of his own, and he made it count. 12-1, Belmont Hill leads Milton Academy. They've got 3 goals from Liam Horkin, 2 from Braden Riley, and then all the rest are 1 apiece. So 8 other goal scorers after their 7 other goal scorers after their 2 multi-goal scorers. Back to the face-off circle we go, and it's won by Curtin. Curtin quickly runs into the attack zone, fires a shot, well saved by Godwin, and he clamps down on the ball and takes the ball back. Godwin's been facing the onslaught, but he has had a few nice saves here and there. Passed back and forth between Godwin and Wayne Simon. Sent back to Simon. Simon sends it ahead. This is number 23, Henry Schottel. Schottel surveys and passes it over to Vogel. Ralph Vogel operating along the left corner, starting to run around behind the net. Over to the opposite corner now as he surveys, looks for an opening. Running along the back again, he's coming around behind, but the defense arrived and shoved him to the ground. He's somehow holding onto the ball through this and finally draws the flag. This is going to be a 1-minute slashing penalty against Belmont Hill. It seems like they said it was called against 28. That is Christian Brunner. Oh no, 18 rather. That is Trey Brown. So Milton with a man-up advantage. Ball is flipped from Schottel to Vogel. Up top to Lannon. Flipped over to Hanlon. Back to Lannon. Lannon over to Vogel, who flips it back to Lannon. Lannon passes over to Schottel behind the net. Now to Ted Wu. A quick pass to Hanlon, and he scores! Mike Hanlon. A nice play there by a pair of sophomores. A great pass from behind the net by Ted Wu over to Mike Hanlon, who buried it. Great off-ball movement, great pinpoint pass, great finish. Second goal of the day for Milton Academy. The score now 12-2. The face-off quickly won by Luke Curtin again. He passes it ahead over to number 10, Will Stewart. Stewart running along the back, being pursued by Murphy McLaughlin. Still running around, and he finally sends a pass out up top over to Eli Goldstein. Goldstein over to Ethan O'Neill. O'Neill trying to juke around his man. No openings there. Passes it behind the net. Working around the circle again. Goes back to Goldstein. Now over to Raymond. Raymond trying to get around his man. He does take the shot, and that one just barely hits the back of the net. It bounced out, but it did get past the bar. A nice bounce shot by Brooks Raymond gives him his second goal of the day. 13-2, Belmont Hill leads with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left here in the second period. And they send Luke Curtin back to the face-off circle against William Lavalley. Face-off quickly won by Curtin, and he takes off running into the attack zone. Flips a quick pass over to Luke Theberge. He juggles it, but recovers it nicely. Trying to get around his man. It's knocked loose, but he recovers. Trying to spin his way around. Nothing doing. Well defended as he sends it up top for number 29, Henry Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck fakes the pass and then starts to charge, but ultimately turns around and does pass it back to Charlie Cave. Cave trying to get around Henry Schottel. Pass in, and another score for Horkin. Liam Horkin, goal number 4 on the day for the junior attacker. His 4th goal makes it 14-2 in Belmont Hill's favor. A minute 58 left here in the first half. And it'll be Sam Johnson against Luke Curtin in the face-off circle. One for a second by Curtin. He's tripped. And so they give the ball to Belmont Hill. They've been dominating possession in no small part thanks to Curtin's efforts. And now this is Stewart trying to work his way around. Nothing there. He sends the pass behind the net. Working it around, it's over to Luke Theberge in the corner. He sends it up top to Connor Monahan. Now over to Ethan O'Neill. O'Neill now running with it. Heading towards the net. Runs out of room. Sends it behind the net. Back over to Theberge. Back up top to Monahan. Monahan sends a pass inside. Low shot by O'Neill. Saved by Godwin. Godwin flips it over to Murphy McLaughlin. Back to Godwin, and we've got a flag thrown. And they're going to looks like there's going to be a penalty on Milton Academy. They're going to call a slash on Milton Academy's number 24, Quince Berkeley. His second penalty of the day. He'll be serving a minute as Belmont Hill takes the possession back in the man-up scenario. And Belmont Hill gets started. The pass to Cave, up top to O'Neill, then over to Raymond, and then over to Figler to Raymond, then to O'Neill. O'Neill over to Cave. Now quickly back and forth. Horkin thought about it off the pass from Riley, decided against it. More quick passing, and Cave finishes it. That quick passing, impossible to keep up with, but ultimately it's Charlie Cave off the assist from Ethan O'Neill. 15-2, the score. A minute and 1 second left here in the second period. And the face-off, loose ball headed towards the Belmont Hill end. A scrum for the ball. Players go to the ground, and they give the ball to Belmont Hill. Running with it is number 5, Kevin McCallum. Or no, it actually wasn't McCallum with the ball. I lost track of it for a second. That's my mistake. But the pass goes up top to number 4, John Gogwen, who then sends it over to number 29, Hasselbeck. Henry Hasselbeck operating from the point, charging in, getting around one man, takes the shot, hits it, top shelf. Godwin, with the trajectory of Hasselbeck's stick, he was expecting it to be a low bounce shot, and you could tell because he kept his stick low, Godwin did, but Hasselbeck released it a little earlier than was expected, and so he took it top shelf, faked out Godwin completely, and buried Belmont Hill's 16th goal of the day. We got a timeout called with 29.6 seconds left here in the second period. The score, the Belmont Hill Sextants 16, the Milton Academy Mustangs 2. Belmont Hill led by 4 goals from number 20, Liam Horkin. They also have 2 goals apiece from number 9, Braden Riley, and number 12, Brooks Raymond, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of goals to keep track of. They've also got 1 goal apiece from Adam Figler, Eli Goldstein, Connor Monahan, Luke Theberge, Charlie Cave, Henry Hasselbeck, and Jack Barry. So hopefully all of that math adds up. One 4-goal scorer, two 2-goal scorers, and then 8 different 1-goal scorers. 11 total scorers so far for Belmont Hill. For Milton Academy, their 2 goals thus far have come from Will Vanderveen and Mike Hanlon. Back to the face-off circle we go out of the timeout. It'll be Lavalley against Curtin. 29.6 seconds left before halftime. Face-off underway. It looks like this is going to be one of their slower ones, or at least it looked like that. Ball is loose, and it's scooped up by Kai Lannon. Lannon takes off running. Quick pass to Vogel. Vogel fires, saved by Marinello. Michael Marinello's had some nice saves on the few attacks he's faced, and now trying to clear it is Marinello. He sends a behind-the-back pass that's slightly juggled by his target, scooped up for a second by Berkeley, but then lost and picked up, and now another fight for the ball, and there's the whistle. That's the horn for halftime. Through 2 periods here at the Milton Academy Turf Field, known as Barrelson Field, The score, the Belmont Hill Sextants 16, the Milton Academy Mustangs 2. We got a 5-minute halftime as we quickly go over the scoring one last time before a break. For Milton Academy, pretty easy to sum up. First goal from Will Vanderveen, and then the second goal from Mike Hanlon, assisted by Ted Wu. For Belmont Hill, it gets a little more complicated. Their leading scorer, Liam Horkin, with 4 goals. Then they have 2 goals each from Braden Riley and Brooks Raymond to account for half of their scores thus far. And then they have 1 goal apiece from Adam Figler, Eli Goldstein, Connor Monahan, Luke Theberge, Charlie Cave, Henry Hasselbeck, Jack Berry, and one more I think I'm missing. I think the last goal might be Ethan O'Neill. Like I said, it's a lot to keep track of, but hopefully I've at least come pretty close. I am Jesse Mayfield-Shan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse game. I'm going to take a mute break, but I'll be back with the second half of this ball game, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Barrelson Field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, and on behalf of Milton Academy, I am bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse matchup between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Belmont Hill Sextons. As you could see from the scoreboard just a second ago, the score fairly lopsided after 2 periods of play. The visiting Belmont Hill leading 16-2. Led by 4 goals from Liam Horkin and 2 each from Braden Riley and Brooks Raymond. For Milton Academy, just 2 goals so far, those coming from Will Vanderveen and Mike Hanlon. So as we get ready to get this second half underway, the 2 face-off specialists heading back to the circle. For Belmont Hill, it is the senior Luke Curtin. And for Milton Academy, it is the freshman William Lavalley. Face-off is won by Curtin, and we are underway here in the 3rd period. Juggling it a bit, can't seem to get a good grip on it. And finally, he secures it. Moving in transition, he flips a pass over to number 36, who juggles it. Now he's running around. That is Justin Santana, who tries to flip a pass, misses his target slightly, but then it is recovered by number 10, Will Stewart. Stewart running along the right side, going around the back. Surveys, sends it over to Luke Theberge. Theberge running out of the corner. Finally hits traffic and has to flip it back out to Eli Goldstein. Goldstein over to number 4, John Goguen. Goguen sends it over to Theberge. Theberge sends it up top to Goldstein. Goldstein charging in. He sends it back out to Stewart. Stewart turns around, charges, shoots, and scores! First goal of the 3rd period and first goal of the day for number 10, Will Stewart. 17-2 now the score. I believe that is the 12th different goal score of the day thus far for Belmont Hill. 17-2, 11:03 left in the 3rd, and it'll be Curtin versus Sam Johnson in the face-off circle. Won quickly by Curtin again. He's been so effective in the face-off circle. And he flips it over to Theberge. Theberge sends it out to Goguen. Goguen running with it. Being pursued by Berkeley. He sends a floating pass behind the net. They work it around the cycle over to Theberge, and now outside to number 28, Christian Brunner. Brunner trying to run his way through. Gets through traffic, but finally gets it knocked away at the last possible second. But they're going to call a foul. Looks like they're going to call unnecessary roughness. And I think I heard them say white, so I think that's against Belmont Hill. It is. It's against Brunner. Christian Brunner with the unnecessary roughness penalty, and I think they said 2 minutes, but the scoreboard only shows 1 minute. Either way, man-up situation for Milton Academy. Ralph Vogel with the ball. He passes it over to Henry Schottel. Now over to Kai Lannon. Back to Vogel. Vogel decides against the shot, flips it over to Hanlon, and they keep working it around. Andrade to Hanlon, to Vogel, to Lannon, and now over to Schottel. Schottel's got some space, but he sends it up top to Vogel. Vogel fakes, sends a pass over, shot by Andrade, and he scores! Max Andrade. They were giving them that opening along the right wing through that entire possession. And finally, Max Andrade edged close enough to the net that he felt comfortable taking that shot. And he gets it past Michael Marinello for Milton Academy's 3rd goal of the game. Last one to pass it to him, I believe, was Kai Lannon. So now back in the face-off circle, it's won again by Curtin. But the ball is knocked loose. Scrum for it. And it's picked up by Johnson, and Johnson's now going to run with it. Being pursued by Henry Hasselbeck. He flips it back and then flipped into the air by Holtschlag. Picked up by Wayne Simon. He gets smothered by multiple players and has the ball knocked loose. It's taken away by Belmont Hill. Now that player's being chased. Physical game here, but finally we got a stoppage, and it's given to Belmont Hill. This is John Goguen flipping it over to Will Stewart. Stewart, the lone goal scorer of the second half thus far for Belmont Hill. Looking around, sends it out to Goguen, now flipped over to number 8, Ronan O'Donnell. O'Donnell now sends it over to Luke Theberge, back to O'Donnell. Now back to Goguen. Goguen starts to charge along the right side, being pursued by Murphy McLaughlin. He flips it back up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell surveying from the point, goes around a pick. Not enough space there, well defended by Wayne Simon. He flips it over to Goguen. Goguen over to Theberge. Theberge running from the point. Gets a pick from O'Donnell, running into the attack zone. Quick pass attempted, misses his target. Well defended there by Milton Academy, and that is going to be a turnover. The Mustangs take over, and it's number 10, Jake Holtschlag, with the ball. Holtschlag flips it over to the goalie, Alex Godwin. He decides to give it over to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon running, slight pick from Simon. He gets across midfield easily. And we've got an offsides call against Milton Academy. So Belmont Hill takes over after the infraction. This is Henry Hasselbeck running with the ball, flips a pass ahead over to Stewart. Stewart sends it behind the net. They work it around to the corner to Theberge, and now back out to Goldstein. Goldstein sends it up top to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck flips it over to Stewart. Stewart gets taken to the ground by Holtschlag. He gets back up, but we're going to have a delayed penalty against Milton Academy. Trying to weave his way through. The pass was intercepted by McLaughlin, but that's going to trigger the delayed penalty. This one will go against number 10, Jake Holtschlag. They call Holtschlag for the cross check. He'll serve a minute for that one. And Belmont Hill will have the man-up situation. Flipping the passes around, they go up top to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck over to Goldstein. Now over to Theberge. Back to Goldstein. Back to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck flips the pass over. And more quick movement. Goes up top to Goldstein. Now over to Theberge. Back to Goldstein. Back to Hasselbeck. They keep flipping it around. Still surveying. Looking for that opening as they just work through the routine passes back and forth as off-ball movement tries to create the opening. Just weaving it back and forth as no one can get open off this Milton Academy defense so far. Still back and forth they go. And now a pass is slightly missed. Chased down and recovered by Goldstein. Jack Smith had a chance at it, but now Goldstein's just going to charge with it, try and get around his man. Runs out of room and sends it behind the net. Now flipped over to Goguen. Goguen trying to juke his way around his defender. Nothing doing. Passes to a streaking player. That was Stewart. Well saved by Godwin. Just as the buzzer sounds on the penalty. Slight confusion as teams thought the play was dead, but it wasn't, so the possession stays with Belmont Hill, although they do not score on the man-up situation. Goldstein flips it over to Hasselbeck, now back to Goldstein. Now he flips it over to what looks to be number 38, Luke Lopresti. Lopresti over to Hasselbeck, now over to Goldstein. Goldstein starting to charge, takes a shot, and he scores. Second goal of the day for Eli Goldstein. Nothing doing on the man-up situation for Belmont Hill. But then after the man-up situation ended with no score, Goldstein finally got aggressive, charged towards the net, and buried it. Second goal of the day for the sophomore midfielder, and he makes the score 18-3 in favor of Belmont Hill. We got two new face-off takers. This is Sam Johnson for Milton Academy and Ronan O'Donnell for Belmont Hill. Ball is jarred loose and picked up by Kai Lannon for Milton Academy. Lannon running with defenders in pursuit. He gets across midfield and into the attack zone. Flips it over to Max Andrade. Andrade with the most recent score for Milton Academy. He flips the pass over. That's Ralph Vogel. Coming out the back, he passes it out to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon, one of the goal scorers in the last one, and now with the ball is Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen starting to charge, looking for an opening, takes a shot, misses wide. Vogel tracks it down to keep possession that way. We've also got a new goalie. This is Matthew Torrey in net for Belmont Hill. Vogel coming around the back, looking for an opening. Turns around, takes a shot. Nice save by Torrey. Torrey sends a long pass ahead. And now running with it is Belmont Hill. This is number 28. Takes the shot, misses wide. Christian Brunner wanted that one off the quick transition play. Ball is flipped over to Luke Theberge. Theberge sends it out to O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends it over to Brunner. And now quick passes around the cycle once again. Theberge with it in the left corner. Running out of space, he sends it back up top to Henry Hasselbeck. Now over to O'Donnell. Now over to Lopresti. Lopresti back to O'Donnell. Now over to Hasselbeck. Fakes one way and then goes up top to O'Donnell. The pass to Hasselbeck is slightly missed, but then recovered by Theberge. Theberge fakes out his defender, and he's got some room to work with, but not enough as he decides against charging in. He passes back out to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck sends it up top to O'Donnell, who flips it over to Lopresti. Back to O'Donnell again. O'Donnell starting to make a move, charging in, gets swarmed by a couple defenders, and there's the possession clock, although the ball was just intercepted by Wayne Simon anyway. Simon running in transition, he passes it ahead. This is Ralph Vogel. Vogel flips it over to Henry Schottel. And then Schottel flips it back to Vogel. Hanlon and Lannon coming back onto the field to help with the attack. Vogel coming around his defender, starting to charge, takes the shot, and he scores! Ralph Vogel. The sophomore attacker from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, buries the fourth goal of the day for the Milton Academy Mustangs. Simple textbook play. He got around his man, had a clear line of sight, wound up and fired, and got it past the backup goalie. Loveley and Curtin heading back to the face-off circle with the score, Belmont Hill 18, Milton Academy 4. And they're going to call a false start and just give it to Belmont Hill. It is Luke Lopresti with the ball. He flips it ahead over to Will Stewart. Stewart sends it behind the net. I believe that is Brunner, who then flips it over to Theberge, but we've got a whistle against Belmont Hill, and so the ball goes back to Milton Academy. Casagrande flips it over to Godwin. Godwin moving slowly and surveying. Passes it over to Sam Johnson, rather. Johnson running with it. Gets across midfield and into the attack zone rather easily. Pass it over to Ted Wu. Ted Wu's got a nice assist already today on the goal by Mike Hanlon. He flips it over to Max Andrade, who has a goal so far today. He's trying to work his way around his defender. Nice fake. Charges. Oh, knocked away from behind. Nice defensive play by Belmont Hill's number 30. But now this ball is knocked away by Hanlon, and Hanlon is going to take the ball for a second, but now we got a scrum for it. Some nice, interesting plays in transition by both teams, but ultimately it is Belmont Hill that comes away with the ball. This is Will Stewart. Stewart gets around his man, starts to charge, gets around another, but runs out of room. We got a delayed penalty that's going to be called against Milton Academy, as it's now Luke Theberge with the ball. Theberge with one goal already today as he flips it over to John Goguen. Goguen running around, flips the pass back out to Luke Lopresti. Lopresti sends a long pass behind him, and now flipped over to Theberge. Theberge sends the pass up top to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck over to Lopresti, now back to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck with one goal today, and so has Luke Theberge, who now has the ball. Being covered by Kai Lennon. Sends it over to Luke Lopresti. Lopresti covered by Murphy McLaughlin. He sends it over to Theberge. Less than a minute left in the third period here, and we got a delayed penalty coming against Milton Academy once this play is dead. Goguen flips it over to Theberge. And Belmont Hill just running out the clock right here. It's flipped over to Hasselbeck, knocked loose by Simon. And Simon picks it up and triggers the delayed penalty, as does the possession clock. 36.8 seconds left here in the third period. Belmont Hill leads Milton Academy 18-4. And the delayed penalty is going to go against number 21, Luca Casagrande. He'll serve a minute. And Belmont Hill will have the man-up advantage to finish out this third period. Flipped over to Theberge. Theberge patiently moving. Just sort of looking around. He passed it out to Goldstein. Goldstein just playing catch with Theberge at this point as Theberge just sort of walks around. They might just be running out the clock at this point with the substantial 14-goal lead. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's going to end the third period. So Belmont Hill runs out the clock on the third period. Our score after 3, Belmont Hill 18, Milton Academy 4. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan here at Barrelson Field at Milton Academy, and I will be coming right back to you with the fourth and final period of regulation after a quick mute break. Stay tuned. And so that quick break between the third and fourth period is over. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan live at Barrelson Field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you this Independent School League high school boys lacrosse game between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Belmont Hill Sextants. As you can see from the scoreboard, the score is 18-4 in favor of the visitors as we head into the final period of regulation. And as you could probably also see in the bottom left corner of that scoreboard, Belmont Hill is going to start with the ball and the man-up advantage as Milton Academy's number 21, Luca Casagrande, finishes out his 1-minute penalty from late in the third period. 24 seconds still left on that penalty clock as we get this game underway. It looks like Luke Theberge, the first one with the ball, and he flips it over to Christian Brunner. Back to Theberge as they continue to move slowly. Passed over to Will Stewart. Stewart flips it out to Luke Lopresti. Now over to Eli Goldstein. Goldstein with 2 goals so far today. Over to Theberge, who has 1 goal. And now penalty time is over. Theberge flips it back to Christian Brunner, and now the pass for Theberge is missed. Loose ball scooped up almost, but not quite by Goldstein, and we got a scrum for the ball instead, and they're going to give the ball to Milton Academy. Oops, lost track of the ball for a second, but Milton Academy's got it in the attack zone. Charging in now, and taking the shot was Andrade, but it was nicely saved by Belmont Hill. Working on the clear. They juggled it for a second, but now they've cleanly got it. This is Goldstein. He flips it over to John Goguen. Goguen sends it over to Will Stewart, who's got 1 goal today. Stewart sends it over to what appears to be number 26, Ben DiBattista. DiBattista running around. Sends the pass out to Goguen. Now flipped over to number 8, Ronan O'Donnell. O'Donnell over to Goguen. Goguen starting to move along his left. Running out of room. Pass it back out to O'Donnell. O'Donnell slowly surveying, passes it over to Luke Lopresti. Belmont Hill appearing to be taking its time, perhaps just running out the clock on a game that is already well within their reaches. They just send the ball rolling away as the possession clock runs out. So yeah, it seems like Belmont Hill is just running out the clock at this point with a substantial 18-4 lead here in the 4th. The goalie, Alex Godwin, with the ball. He passes it over to Jake Holtschlag. Holtschlag gets toppled by his defender. And now picking it back up and running with it is Belmont Hill. Theberge working slowly with it. And assuming they stick with the slowdown tactics, this might just kill another chunk of clock off the last period of this game. Pass over to Goguen, now over to Lopresti. Lopresti over to Stewart, behind the net to, I believe, Theberge. It is Theberge who's coming out the back, being pursued by Wayne Simon from Milton Academy. Theberge being closely defended by Simon, but he escapes to safety for a second. And now he flips the pass over to Goguen. Now a long pass over to Lopresti. Lopresti guarded by Mike Hanlon. And now a pass over to Ronan O'Donnell. O'Donnell in the corner. And he just flips the ball away as again we run out the possession clock. 8 minutes and 12 seconds and counting left here in regulation. Mike Hanlon, one of the 4 goal scorers for Milton Academy, flips it ahead to Henry Schottel. Schottel working his way around, gets into the attack zone. Now working around the back. Schottel coming from around the back, takes a shot and scores! Henry Schottel, the sophomore midi from Milton, Massachusetts, makes it 18-5. 7:41 left here in regulation. And Shuttle becomes the 5th different goal scorer for Milton Academy, as it'll be Sam Johnson against Luke Curtin. And the face-off is being battled for. A bit of a scrum for it. Loose ball knocked away and scooped up by Curtin, but into the air, and it's ultimately recovered by Milton Academy. But now knocked away. They're still scrumming for it. Who's going to come away with it? It's Ralph Vogel. Vogel gets the ball for Milton Academy, pushes through a defender off a pick, but I think they're gonna call an illegal pick. They're gonna call the illegal pick on Chris Scanlon. Now Henry Hasselbeck floats the pass ahead to Ronan O'Donnell, and we begin the slowdown again. Just over 7 minutes left here in the 4th period. Belmont Hill with the ball. Just trying to run this clock out. This is Will Stewart running along the back. Being pursued. He flips the pass away. It's slightly juggled, but then collected. Couple more passes now with Luke Lopresti. He starts to run. Has a bit of an opening, but isn't going for a score right now. He's being chased by senior Bill Eugene before he flips it over to Luke Theberge. Theberge being defended by number 21, Luca Casagrande. Flips the pass over to Lopresti, being chased by one of the Milton Academy seniors, Bill Eugene. Then flips the ball over to Hasselbeck, who just lets it go as the clock is run out yet again. 5:50 left, and we got another possession for Milton Academy. Sam Johnson flips the ball ahead to Henry Schottel. Schottel has scored a goal this period, and he flips it over to Mike Hanlon, another one of Milton Academy's goal scorers so far today. 18-5 the score, 5.5 minutes left here in regulation. Hanlon operating out of the back. Spins around his man. Floats a pass. And they send one back to Vogel. Vogel fires, well saved. That was number 31, Matthew Torrey, using his body there to deflect that shot away. And now it'll be Ted Wu coming out of the back for Milton Academy. Wu being physically defended by his man there. Looking around, he decides to send it up top to Kai Lannon, who tries to flip it back to Wu, but Wu wasn't ready for it, and they're going to turn that ball over out of bounds. Torrey flips pass over to one of his defenders. Belmont Hill operating in transition. Being pursued by Max Andrade, but now he takes off sprinting out of the net. And, oh, he gets body checked by Quince Berkeley. That's going to draw a foul, but also a lot of whoops from the Milton Academy bench. That's going to be a cross-check call, as clear a call as there's ever going to be against Quince Berkeley. He's going to serve his 3rd penalty of the day. So a 1-minute penalty on Berkeley. And the Milton Academy bench loves the physicality. The Belmont Hill players love their backup goalie just taking that hit on the chin. And of course they love getting the man-up advantage. Pass over to Lopresti. Then over to Stewart. Back to Lopresti. Up top to O'Donnell. And a missed pass aimed at Goguen is going to go out of bounds and turn the ball over and give it back to Milton Academy. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left. Murphy McLaughlin running with the ball for the Mustangs. Still running with it. Into the attack zone he goes. Still waving through. Takes the charge and throws it right into the pocket of Matthew Torrey. Torrey flips it ahead to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets his helmet knocked off. The word chippy comes to mind when you see a game like this. Both teams whooping for their teammates for the physical play. They're just having fun at this point. The score is 18-5, 4 minutes and 4 seconds left, and these two teams are just going to have fun with the time that they've got left on this field. Lopresti flips it over to Stewart. Stewart back to Lopresti. Now Lopresti walking around with it. He sends it up top to Goguen. Goguen over to, I believe, Hasselbeck. Excuse me. Another couple of quick passes. Now back with Stewart. Stewart passes out to Lopresti. Lopresti sends a long pass behind the net, aimed at Di Battista. Di Battista being pursued by Casagrande. Just trying to keep the ball in his possession. The pass is deflected by McLaughlin and ultimately knocked out of bounds. Nice defensive play by Murphy McLaughlin to give his team a few extra seconds with the ball. He flips it over to the goalie, Alex Godwin, who then sends it over to Casagrande. Casagrande sends it ahead to Lannon. Kai Lannon now running with it. Lannon still running. Bounces off his defender. Bounce shot, and it's in! Kai Lannon with the bounce shot, and I believe he is the third senior to score today, alongside his classmates Max Andrade and Will Vanderveen. 18-6 now the score, 3 minutes 4 seconds left here in this game. It'll be Sam Johnson against Ronan O'Donnell in the face-off circle. Ball is kicked loose, but awarded to Belmont Hill. O'Donnell running around with it. Goes along the right side, being covered by Vanderveen. And Vanderveen stumbles and falls in his chase of O'Donnell, but they're still just passing the ball around. Lopresti with it. He passes it over to Stewart. Stewart running around, being covered by number 17, Austin Scott, another one of Milton Academy's seniors, as they try and get their veterans some playing time in this last home game here at Barrelson Field. Pass around, go back to Lopresti. Lopresti pass ahead. It's juggled and lost. I think that was Christian Brunner, who's now got the ball, and he sends it up top to Goguen after evading his defenders. Pass back to Stewart. Stewart again being covered by Austin Scott, runs around a slight pick from Di Battista and then sends a long pass over to Brunner. Now back up top to Goguen. Goguen being pursued by Chris Scanlon. Now the pass to Henry Hasselbeck, and he rolls it away at the end of the possession clock. Passed over to Godwin. Godwin flips a long pass over to Hanlon. Hanlon, one of the 6 goal scorers for Milton Academy today, and he's charging. Decides against it. Pass over to Vanderveen is juggled but recovered. Vanderveen going to try and go for goal number 2, but he gets tackled to the ground and loses the ball. No foul call, and it's recovered by Torrey. Minute 10 seconds left here in regulation. Flipped over. Now the pass is intercepted by Bill Eugene, and he flips it ahead to Ralph Vogel. Vogel is pushed to the ground by his defender, but he gets back up. Flips it over to Hanlon. A nice takeaway by the senior Eugene. Now Hanlon fires and misses high. Number 18, Jason Lee, back there to secure it. He flips it over to Andrade. 42.2 seconds left for Milton Academy to try and get at least one more goal. Andrade juggles it but recovers. Operating out of the corner, he passes over to Vogel. Vogel winds and fires. Nice save by Torrey. Rebound recovered for a second but then lost. Now recovered again for a second but then lost, and ultimately scooped up by Torrey. That was Jason Lee and Jasper Burns who were trying to chase down that ball. And now it seems like Belmont Hill will just be able to run out the clock unless Milton Academy can force another turnover, and that does not look likely. 7 seconds left as we count things down here at Barrelson Field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. The final horn sounds, and that's going to do it for this game. The final score, the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs 6, and the visiting Belmont Hill Sextants 18. A handy win on the road for the Sextants. They remain perfect on the season, improve to 10-0, and show why they're a nationally ranked club. The Mustangs showed some fight at several points, but ultimately their record falls to 4-4. Summing up the scoring for today, we'll start with Milton Academy. That's certainly the easier one to do. They have goals from Mike Hanlon, Kai Lannon, Max Andrade, Henry Schottel, and Will Vanderveen. And Ralph Vogel. I missed Vogel. So Ralph Vogel, Mike Hanlon, Kai Lannon, Max Andrade, Henry Schottel, and Will Vanderveen. So a few of the Mustang seniors on the scoreboard there, which is nice to see. And then for the much more bloated score rundown of the Belmont Hill Sextants, leading the way with 4 goals was Liam Horkin. They have a few 2-goal scorers, namely Braden Riley, Eli Goldstein, and Brooks Raymond. And amongst the other goal scorers, and bear with me, I'm going to try and get all of them as close as I can. Adam Figler scored 1. Will Stewart scored 1. Connor Monahan scored 1. Luke Theberge scored 1. Charlie Cave scored 1. Henry Hasselbeck scored 1. And Jack Berry scored 1. There might have been a goal I missed in there in my count. I did my best to keep track of the high scoring output from Belmont Hill. But otherwise, that is going to do it here at Barrelson Field. You can see that last final score, 18-6, and you can see the Milton Academy team gathering as a team. This, their last game of the season here at Barrelson Field. They'll be on the road tomorrow, and then they'll be on the road next Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So if this is to be the last game at Barrelson Field for this senior class of 2021, allow me to tip my cap for a second to the following players. A midfielder from Hyde Park, Massachusetts, number 8, Bill Eugene. A midfielder from Orleans, Massachusetts, number 9, Kai Lannon, one of the goal scorers for today. A defender from Milton, Massachusetts, number 13, Garvin McLaughlin. A midfielder from Boston, Massachusetts, number 16, Jasper Burns. A defender from Conway, New Hampshire, number 17, Austin Scott. A midfielder from Seoul, South Korea, number 18, Jason Lee. An attacker from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, number 19, Max Andrade, another one of the goal scorers today. A long stick midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 22, Richie Feary. A defender from Weston, Massachusetts, number 30, William Spencer. An attacker from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 39, Nate Stewart. And lastly, a midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, and one of today's goal scorers, number 40, Will Vanderveen. my hat's off to you, the class of 2021. I haven't been covering this team long, but it has been a pleasure to cover, even with 2 tough losses being the results that I've covered for this boys lacrosse team. It's been a pleasure. You are all a bunch of fine, hardworking young men, and I wish you all the best as you move forward into your adult lives in the future. Best of luck to all of you. And a thank you to all of you who have tuned in and watched on behalf of Milton Academy, giving me this fine opportunity to broadcast these games. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, and for the last time today from Barrelson Field, I am signing off. I'll have the girls lacrosse game here at home tomorrow, so be sure to tune in for that. And have a good rest of your Friday, everybody.